Hello, beloveds. It is Lainie Love Dalby beaming in. I am the cosmic creatrix of the new Sacred Revolution Oracle, and I am so thrilled today to be beaming in with our first group reading from the Oracle for the new moon in Scorpio today. Such potent energies. The deck just went out to 13 countries this morning, and so this is a very exciting moment to be diving into the medicine in this Oracle deck, and I am so thrilled to share it with you today. There are going to be lots more readings like this. Let me give you a tour of the inside. It's the constellation of us sparkling shamelessly for the good of all. And the guidebook. And then the medicine of the cards is inside. You can feel the potency of it. It's so ideal that it decided to show up for this Scorpio season. I'm a Scorpio, lots of Scorpio in my chart, but this is truly a deck of transformation. It's a deck of rebirth. It's a soul retrieval. It is really a great remembering and a homecoming to who we are and to who we have always been. And there's such potent medicine in here that is really so ideal for this time of really deep diving within and clearing and cleansing. Each of the cards has a sparkling essence as well as a shadow aspect. So it can really help you to do some deep shadow diving during this Scorpio time. So just so you know, the link is in the bio. If you haven't ordered yours yet, there are not too many left of this first edition run. So if you feel called to it, be sure to jump on it today. So we're going to dive in today with a reading for the new moon in Scorpio, and I'm so excited to see what juiciness wants to come through. I know there's lots of readers, lots of people offering medicine like this, but this deck is really special. One, because I created it. I did all of the shamanic healing art pieces. Some of them have up to 50 layers. They're all handmade. They're not digital works of art. They are all handmade. A lot of them have live crystals on them. They have holy oils, all sorts of deep inscribed wisdom and medicine. And so thrilled to share this potent medicine. And I also created the guidebook that has lots of different tools to be able to support you. And it's also the first of its kind because it's multimedia, and it comes with a portal in the Ecstatic Embodied Leadership Academy with practices for each of the cards, so you can really embody the medicine and anchor in the medicine from the cards. So the one thing I love about it too is that it's super soft touch, so it's just smooth like butter. So they are feeling ready to me, beloveds. We're gonna spread out this rainbow smorgasbord here and really tuning in and asking what it is that we need to know for the collective for this new moon in Scorpio. Of course, whenever we do a reading like this for the collective, it's going to be more general. And of course, if you wanted to get a more specific reading for you and where you are in this time in your life, that is also possible. There's a link below for you to book your own one-on-one intuitive oracle reading. So let's tune in here together, beloveds. Let's just take a moment to really focus in on what it is that we most need to know for this new moon in Scorpio, for this Scorpio season, to really make this a potent portal of transformation for us as we move towards the eclipse portal that's starting on the full moon this month, and as we really dive in here to the end of 2021, which has been such a potent and challenging year in many ways. So just focusing in on that, placing your hand on your heart. Okay, pulling cards now. Just continue focusing on that question. What is it that we most need to know for this new moon in Scorpio? Sensing we need 2 more cards. That was a 2 right there. Okay. Let's see what magic and medicine has come forth for us today, beloveds. And I will share them with you as well. Let me show you the cards that came through. So this is the first card that came through. And this is the Lemurian Waterkeeper's card. So just take a moment to take that medicine in. The second card is Transmute in the Flames. Just let yourself breathe in the medicine, the light language, the codes. The images are inscribed with great medicine themselves, so just letting them land in your body first before we dive into them. This is the Rewild Your Primal Nature card. This is one of my favorite cards in the deck, I admit. And this is the Secret Language of Nature card. Just taking in that medicine, feeling the symbols, the alchemy that's present in this time of the alchemist, Scorpio season. And this is the energetic womb level nourishment card. Breathing in the medicine here. All right, so we're gonna dive in. And the first things that I'm really seeing here with these 5 cards is that there's definitely a focus on the body, and not just the body, but our true nature, the true nature of our body and what it is that we need to be deeply nourished. What it is that we need to be nourished on that energetic womb level. And I believe that we all have an energetic womb regardless of our gender. So really feeling into what is it that we most need to have that deep, deep level of nourishment so that we can stand and be in the world in our true nature. In our fullest nature. The macaw really stands for that symbol of true nature. And she's here with her staff of power. And that's actually the ceremony that accompanies this particular card, to create your own staff of power. Because Scorpio is about power in the end. Scorpio is about sex, it's about death, it's about transformation, it's about power. And so this is a time to really come into our full power, to stake our claim of our authentic star power, is what I like to call it. That's what the 5th section of the deck is coming home to our authentic star power. So how can you come more into your essence and transmute in the flames all that is no longer serving you at this time? Because Scorpio, even though it's water, it's like fire water. So how can you transmute in the flames now all that is no longer serving, the shadow, the karmic baggage, the old ways of being, the toxic behaviors? How can you really shed those for this new moon in Scorpio to create a clean slate that is in alignment with your authentic nature? And not only your authentic nature, but your ancient lineage as well. Because this card really stands for connecting to our ancient lineages, especially our ancient spiritual lineages. Whether you believe that you have had a Lemurian or Atlantean past, it's really connecting into the very deep, vast, ancient knowing of the whale, ancient wisdom. And doing it in a way that's playful with the presence of the dolphins. And so really allowing yourself, there's also an owl in this card and the skulls, the crystal skulls. So these are big symbols for this time of Scorpio, also the time of the ancestors we just passed. that skull medicine is really part of that connection to the ancestors, and they are here for personal and planetary transformation. So I'm seeing this card and reading this card in this spread at this time on the new moon in Scorpio is really about connecting in to our ancient wisdom lineages in order to help transmute in the flames what is no longer serving, so that we can truly bring forward our primal wild nature, the fullness of who we are and who we're here to be at this time, to create the new earth. Because that's really what she is doing there. She's holding this seed of the birth of the new earth. And so as each of us comes more into our authentic self, into our authentic power, our authentic star power, shining our true colors, as the macaw reminds us, bringing that forward in the world like lightning, as a lightning catalyst, that as more of us do that, we will be able to heal and uplift the world together. So she's really a transformer here. This is a moment where we can have great transformation and to really call forward our ancient lineages of wisdom to help us do so, to help us call forward that medicine. And I love that the triangle is here. And also here, it's the alchemical symbol for water. And so the alchemical symbol of water is here, as well as the fire. So Scorpio, fire, water. How can you lean into that elemental magic to help support you now? Because that's what this card is really about. It's the secret language of nature. So how can we tune in not only to our own personal nature, but Mama Nature? How can we tune into Gaia? How can we tune into the rhythms of the planet and the earth and the moon and the tides, and listen to that language of nature, to the cosmos, to the stars? How can we listen for that wisdom as well, that ancient wisdom that is coming from the stars and from the earth? So it's almost like drawing down that sky fire, the star fire, the sun fire, bringing that energy into our bodies to help transmute, and then also bringing up the earth fire as well into the body, to be able to really support us with womb level nourishment. Because that is what Mama Gaia does. Mama Gaia offers us, nature offers us energetic womb level nourishment at its core base level. And it allows us to come into a whole new way of being and relating when we are in sync with not only our own primal nature, but the nature that is all around us. We are connecting back into the web of life. And that's really so much what the journey in this oracle deck is all about, is a journey of sacred reconnection. And we are at that time in our world at a crisis point with separation and isolation and all that is moving. It is time to burn that away, transmute it in the flames, so that we can come back to remember our deep interconnectedness with all of life, with nature, with our primal nature, and with our ancient lineages that have always been here informing us in some way and in some level. And so how can you lean in now in this time of the new moon in Scorpio and ask, what is it that I really need to clear? What do I really need to get rid of to have a clean slate, to step more into my primal power, my primordial power, the core essence of who I am and who I'm here to be now in this Scorpio moment, with this fire water as support to clear, to cleanse, to purge in a way that is easeful and gentle. I always ask for that prayer when it comes to intense clearing, but allowing us to come back to our true essence, our true colors, and to shine that forth in the world. And the other part that I love about this card is the rewilding our primal nature is also our sexual power. It is coming into our full sexuality, which Scorpio is all about. And especially Mars being in Scorpio now, there's a lot of energy around desire and literal attraction. So allowing yourself to listen to your body what is going to bring you womb level nourishment as well in the realm of your sexuality and how you are engaging with your primordial body and your sexual organs, your sexual body, your sexual being in the world, and how that can superpower you and your energies. That's in some of the other cards in the deck, so I won't get into those in this reading, but really how we can really be fully lit up in our energetic womb space, which I sort of see as this triangle of spirituality, sexuality, and creativity. And when that is all flowing, we can be in our wild feminine primal energies. We can fully create and bring into form from that place. We can relate to all of life, to spirit, to whatever you identify the divine as in that way. And we become a channel, a pure channel of light, of love, of authentic power in the world, bringing our gifts and medicine, because she is a medicine woman in a sense, bringing her magic forward. And Scorpio is also, the archetype of the shamanist, the tantrika, the alchemist. And so she really is holding down the Scorpio energy very fiercely here. It's one of the reasons I love her, because I have so much Scorpio energy. And I have my Venus in Scorpio as well, which, for any of you that might have that, that's really the divine feminine expression of Scorpio. And for those that might have Mars in Scorpio, that's the divine masculine expression of that. And looking how that's showing up in your life and how that can bring balance and nourishment to your own being as well. So the other piece coming through with this card here is really, again, leaning into life. This is the seed of life, the circle of life. And so what is it that we can lean into with that ancient lineage of wisdom, whatever spiritual lineages we might be a part of, whether it's Atlantean or Lemurian or Egyptian or whatever you feel really drawn to, just really trusting that connection and tuning into that connection to see what the soul song is. The whale is our authentic sound, our authentic song. And so really leaning into that ancient authentic song that you have to sing now in part for this time of transformation, because this is a collective reading and we have this transmute in the flames card here, and that lion, the fierce feminine energy, the lion energy. It's really showing that this is a time of deep transformation for the collective. This is our opportunity to clear away. And for those who follow astrology, the Pluto return, especially those in the US is going into its Pluto return next year. So this is a massive time of clearing away what's no longer serving, burning it up in the fire, transmuting it in the flame, bringing forth our full power now, our full power as the individual as well, in service to really reconnecting, sacred reconnection to what matters most, so that we can thrive and co-create the new earth together. That seed of the new earth there that she is holding, and really trusting that journey, trusting the medicine in that as we collectively do that. But as we like to say in our community, in our Soul Sparkle Sanctuary, if we're not deeply nourished, we can't deeply nourish the world with our gifts. And the medicine here, we've got the snake and also the rose, which is the highest vibrational frequency of love coming from the heart. So it's really nourishing the world and the ecosystem with our unique gifts and medicine, our power, taking our stand with our staff of power and bringing that love forward. But to do so, it's that hummingbird medicine where the hummingbird memorizes thousands of flowers and it only goes back to those that nourish it the most. So it's having fierce discernment. It's being deeply connected to the moon, the rhythms, the tides, to be able to know what is it that brings you that honey, sweetness, that mana? What is it that brings you that deep level of satiated sustenance? And often with astrology, one of the ways that you can find balancing energies is to look at the opposing axis of the sign. And so Scorpio, the opposing axis is Taurus. And this card, if there was a Taurian card in the deck, is this. It's the epicure. It's the one who is in sensual pleasure and in embodiment, and that is really deeply listening to the body and the rhythms of the body. It is of matter, and it's an earth sign that is very rooted and grounded, just like the temple. So how can you treat your body as a sacred temple as we are moving from this new moon in Scorpio, clearing what is no longer serving, really showing up to honor your body as a temple as we move towards the full moon in Taurus eclipse portal, which is going to be a big activation of this energy, which I believe is a precursor. This reading all feels like a precursor for what is coming in 2022, which is a shift in the nodes. The north node is going into Taurus, and the south node is going into Scorpio in our Scorpio medicine. So these energies are going to be playing very strongly in the collective. And if you have those as your individual nodes too, then it would be even more powerful for you. And that's shifting in January 2022. And stay tuned for our Sovereign Sisters Rising Mystery School, since that is going to be diving into those energies very deeply. And so this is really potent medicine here. Is really looking at both the Scorpio energies this month and also the Taurian energies, and how we can be in our full sexual energy, our full power, our full primal essence, and that we can really clear away and be the alchemist, be the transformers, to stand in our true colors, unabashed, to work through the shadow material, whatever we need to do to clear and cleanse and burn away, and to come to the full power of who we are now. And doing that in a way that's deeply nourished at the core level of our being, that we are receiving all that we need, and on every level of nourishment. And nourishment can be, it can be sustenance and food, but it can also be financial nourishment. It can be relational nourishment. So really asking, what is it that you need, and how can you nourish yourself? And what do you need to ask from those around you as well to be nourished? Do you need to be held more often by your partner? Do you need more gentleness and kindness from your friends? Do you need to be witnessed by a sister or somebody in your community? What is it that's going to help you be super nourished? Because when you're nourished, you can nourish the world with your gifts, and you can show up as that transformer, as that medicine woman, as the one who is offering her true colors for the good of the collective, to help birth this new earth together. And again, there's rose energy here. It's coming from a place of love. We are walking as divine love in the world. It is one of the core 13 pillars of the sacred art of sparkling shamelessly that we deep dive into in our inner circle. And walking as love is a core part of this. And as we tune into our ancient wisdom, and also the wisdom of nature and that secret language of nature, we can just enhance our capacities for that profound sense of love and reverence, of really seeing the body as the sacred temple, as the holy temple, and honoring and cherishing it as such, and connecting into our ancient lineages to be able to support us in this journey now, to lean in for the wisdom. Because everything is cyclical, all of life, even the patterns that we're in now. That's why astrology is so profound to really follow, because everything happens in these cycles. And so when you attune to those cycles, you start to feel into and literally feel in the cells of your body the interconnectedness with all of life, with all of nature, with the web of all life. And that is one of the final sections in the Oracle deck, is returning home to the web of all life. And so really leaning into the ancient wisdom that is here for us, that is calling us forward, and that is, it's really, we're architecting our ancient future. That is another card in the deck. It is this idea of, as we lean into our lineages, as we remember and call all parts of ourselves back home so we can be in our full power. Because if we've lost parts of our soul, we got to call them back in. And soul retrieval is another part of one of the practices in the deck that you'll receive as well in the interactive portal, to really help call those pieces back that are missing. Because we cannot be in our full power if we don't have all parts of ourselves online. And we can't be in our full power if we aren't in our bodies. So this is also a call to ecstatic embodiment. And if there were a sign that could help us to do that, Scorpio absolutely can, and Taurus, they help us to come into our ecstatic embodiment. And so many of us, that is a deeper call that many of us feel, especially those that might have the Chiron wound in Taurus, which I do in that cycle. It's that deep call to come back home to the body. And that's the first section of the Oracle deck, because we have to start there. We got to come back into our bodies, come back home to our bodies, come back into our core sense of what it is to be nourished. And especially, those of us that are female bodied, because in our world, it's very much linear. It's do, produce. And there isn't a lot of room for our cyclical way that our bodies literally operate during the 4 phases of our moon cycle that attune to the 4 cycles of the moon and, the different phases of the moon as well. And, it's really, it's essential medicine to tap into that cyclical way of living, to be able to be in our full power, especially as female-bodied individuals. It's core essential to come home to that. That's why one of the other core pillars of the sacred art of sparkling shamelessly is to root in ritual, ceremony, and ancient wisdom. And that ancient wisdom is really so key to living cyclically, to living in the state of interbeing with all of life, and really realizing how connected we are. How deeply connected we are. And at the root of it, Sacred Revolution, this oracle deck, is about that. It's about a return of love and reverence to the body, to the earth, to each other, and to that greater web of life. And so this card is also connecting to your ancient ancestral lineages with the presence of the skulls. So how can you really tune into that ancient wisdom now? When the veil is the thinnest, because we are in Scorpio season, this is the time. Deep dive. Go into those deep waters, the alchemical symbol of water. Let water transform you. Spend a lot of time in water and bring in salt and light candles and have that fire presence too. And allow yourself to really channel the wisdom and the brilliance of the ancient lineages and how they can support us in this deep time of transformation. We know it is a time of transformation. There's no doubt about it. We are transmuting what is no longer serving in the collective. We have been now since pre-COVID, and this is a potent moment. And to allow yourself to lean in, knowing there's only a little bit of time left before the new year comes, before 2022 is here, and we have a whole new set of energies to work with and move with. And we'll do more readings then, don't worry. But for now, what are you gonna do to nourish yourself, beloved? Deeply nourish yourself at the depth and core of your being in all ways, and to treat your body as a sacred temple. Purify the vessel. That's really a message I've been hearing personally in this time. Purify the vessel for whatever is coming. I don't know what's coming, but I know it's going to be interesting. So purify the vessel. How can you do that right now? And to support you, stepping into your full power, claiming that, rewilding your primal nature, the truth of who you are, sharing your full colors, and committing to do that. And so I invite you in the comments below to really share, how are you going to nourish your body temple, deeply nourish yourself, and going only to what nourishes you the most, connecting in with those rhythms and cycles. Even if you are not still having your moon time and bleeding, you can still connect to the rhythms of the moon and that energy. And what are you committing in terms of stepping into your power? Sharing your true colors, taking a stand with that staff of power. What are you committing to in order to be in service to the collective birth and really fostering of this new earth? I feel like it's budding, it's here, and we are tending to it lovingly, and it's going to be a long process. So what can we continue to do to show up in our scorpionic power, our alchemist power, and transmute what's no longer serving? So also share, what are you transmuting? What is no longer serving that you are ready to burn up in that fire, in the violet flame, to clear, to cleanse, to purify, to shed like the snake. The snake is present here, shedding like the snake. What's no longer serving, so you can be fully nourished and deeply rooted in your ancient wisdom lineages and nature. Go outside. Connect with the roots. Literally put your bare feet on the earth. tap in again. There's the primal energy here, that primal nature, connecting into that, and remember your rootedness with all that is in nature. So feel your roots going deep down into the earth and really connecting into the primal power of Gaia. And hug a tree, smell some flowers, allow yourself to get really intimate. Go outside and stare at the moon. Listen to her, see if she has messages for you. Just as you connect in water and, allow yourself to receive messages from the water, from your ancient lineages, let nature speak to you. Her secret language is wanting to call out now in this season. So, as the veils are thin, dusk and dawn are great times, liminal zones, to go outside and see what magic and medicine is there. And often it's the time that many animals that you don't ever get to see are present. And it's a time when you can feel the true aliveness pulsing all around you. You can feel the life teeming under the surface. It's almost like you can feel the mycelial web sparking of the fungi just underneath the layers. So connect with the moon, connect with the stars, connect with nature. Let yourself be nourished at a deep level by nature. Even if you're in a city, finding a little section. One of my dear sisters who lives in Brooklyn sent me images of sacred datura and tobacco growing in this little side pocket on the sidewalk on the street. It's like there's medicine everywhere. And so allow yourself to open to that medicine and really be alert. Pay attention and be discerning, like that hummingbird, and what is going to nourish you most. And it's time. Use that Scorpio energy. It's time to step into your power. Full, authentic star power, not false power, not egoic power, true core power, rooted in your body, your primal nature, your sexual Shakti life force energy. Let yourself really feel that, take that stand, be in that energy, bring that forward in this Scorpio season, and let us see your true colors. Let us see who you truly are as you burn away what is no longer serving. Get rid of anything that is in the way of you sharing your full colors now with the world, sparkling shamelessly for all to see. That's that real sparkle energy straight from the solar plexus, but rooted in that place of love. The rose is also here. Burning away anything that is not love so that we can return and remember the truth of who we are and who we've always been. Deeply connected to nature, deeply connected to our primal bodies, deeply connected to our ancient lineages. It's all there. Lean in. That's what I really hear in these cards. With this new moon in Scorpio, clear the slate, lean in. When this veil is so thin, there is deep wisdom and medicine here that is wanting to come through now for all of us. So let us lean in, let us listen, let us spend time in sacred communion with the elements, with our ancestors, with our ancient lineages. Let us hear that ancient song, the call of the whale, reminding us and awakening us to the codes of the truth of who we are and who we are here to be. So may this new moon in Scorpio and Scorpio season bless you. May it nourish you. May it support you in getting rid of all of the dross, burning it off so that you can truly alchemically transform into the fullness of who you are and who you're here to be now, in service to the greater good of all and us really co-creating this new earth together. So I thank you so much for joining us for our first reading from the Sacred Revolution Oracle, and the links are below if you'd like to get your own copy of the deck. Again, there aren't too many left of this first edition print run, where there's a special wild card, a 50th wild card that you don't want to miss. So just wanting to really share this medicine far and wide, since it just went out to 13 countries today, and just feeling the root of it is to support us. It is very scorpionic in its capacity to transform and alchemize what no longer serves. So I'm sending great love your way, and just deep prayers of remembrance and homecoming to your body and the truth of you and your wild, primal nature, the fullness of you. Can't wait to see it shining. So make sure to comment below, like and subscribe to the video, and we will see you again soon, beloveds. Bye for now.